In this episode, I'm giving you the exact method to figure out your next priority step inside of your membership and what is going to be the most important thing for you to focus on now versus what can technically wait. Welcome to the $1,000,000 Memberships Podcast, where we help female entrepreneurs like yourself start, grow, and scale multiple 6- and 7-figure online memberships with simple, step-by-step strategies that actually work.
Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. Really quick, I want to send you my membership starter kit completely free. And I might be absolutely insane for doing this because it's normally $147 and it's packed with templates, pricing guides, setup resources to launch your membership, naming your membership, literally all of the things. I want to send it to you for free. And all I ask in return is that you leave this podcast a 5-star rating and written review on Apple iTunes. That's it. Seriously, that is it. So pause this if you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts, scroll down to the bottom where you see the reviews, tap the 5 stars, leave me a written review, screenshot it before you submit it, and then send that screenshot to support@paigevandy.com. I will leave it all in the show notes for you. I'll leave the instructions in there, but that is literally it. Once we verify it, we'll send you the starter kit completely for free. No strings attached, just your review. I'll leave the instructions in the show notes, so it's so easy for you to do, and then you can come back and enjoy the episode. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the $1,000,000 Memberships Podcast. In today's episode, we are getting into a little hack that I have to really help you navigate through overwhelm, really be able to figure out what your exact next tasks need to be inside of your membership. I find when it comes to memberships, there's a couple just really common blocks that membership founders face. Whether it's being overwhelmed, there's just so much to do when it comes to memberships, or whether it's just not knowing what is actually priority for you to focus on right now versus later, or even that feeling that something just isn't good enough inside of your membership. No matter how many times you tweak it or you overview it or you ask for feedback, you just have this like nagging feeling that something isn't good enough inside of your membership, especially if you are coming from more of like a one-on-one container or something where you are working with people at a little bit more of a higher touch capacity. Those thoughts can be swirling in our head all the time of, oh my God, people are coming into this membership where I'm not actually talking to them one-on-one or getting on calls with them one-on-one. I want to make sure everything is working for them or gets them good results, and like we can just spin out on that. And something that I see happen all the time, and this is actually so common, so if you feel like this, I just want you to know how common this is, and I feel like it's almost everyone that I talk to, is that when you have a membership and people join your membership, you end up getting a little bit nervous when new members come into your membership and join your membership because you're not 100% confident that everything's good enough, whether that's, oh my God, are they going to know where to start? Or, oh my God, are they getting enough information? Or am I supporting them enough? Is there a clear pathway of where they should be working? We just have these anxieties come up. And like I said in the beginning of this, there's a lot to do inside of a membership, and it can get overwhelming, especially when you're just trying to make sure that your membership is as good as it possibly can be. And when a lot of people come into my world, whether they're joining $1,000,000 Memberships Club or they DM me or whatever else, one thing that's a pretty common across the board scenario is that you just don't know where to actually put your focus. There's so many things to do. I know I need to get my onboarding in. I know I need to do this. I know I need to do that. But where should I actually be focusing on? What should I actually be focusing in on right now to get my next 100 members, 200 members, whatever it might be? So I held a workshop, a membership workshop recently where I asked before the workshop even started to people who signed up, I asked them this question and it hit people hard. We got some really great responses from this, and it revealed instantly what our community really needed to hone in on, tighten, upgrade, fix, focus on, whatever it might be, to actually grow their membership in 2026. And I know it's going to do the exact same for you. So the question that I asked inside of our community, and then I'm going to tell you what to actually do with this question in a little bit here too. The question that reveals everything, what you personally need to work on, what is personally a focus for you. And the question that I asked was, if 200 members dropped into your membership tomorrow, how would you feel? What our members said when I asked this question. I want you to see if you identify with any of these. So, some of the responses that we got had someone say, I would definitely feel blessed and I'd be so excited. Do I feel like I would be ready tomorrow? No. I do not have my platform set up, my tiered pricing options figured out, etc., and that is why I'm here. Someone else said, I would be beyond happy and so freaking excited to lead these women. I have a general onboarding process and a start here section for new members, but I'd love to build it out better to give the absolute best first impression. Someone else said, I'd be ecstatic. However, I also know I'd need to have a better plan in place for posting and need to learn how to get my members to engage. Someone else said, I would say that my onboarding process for sure needs to be improved. Someone else said, I'd be so freaking excited, but I know my orientation process still needs some fixing to make sure it's really solid. Okay, so these are just some of the answers that we got. I'm not going to read all of them because I think you get the point. The overall theme of what everyone was saying, even though the answers were kind of all a little bit different, they were all kind of the same at the same time. And it was truly, I'd be so excited, but I'd be nervous. I'd be so excited, but my systems aren't there yet. I'd be so happy, but I need better systems in place. It's always the I'd be happy, but there's this. And that is so freaking common. And so, this is why this matters more than you think. To ask yourself this question is actually really, really important, which is why I ask this in the community. And I want to actually like pull this back a little bit more and share with you even more of why this matters. And it kind of is like woo woo and science bundled up together. If you are not fully confident in your membership, so if you would be so excited that these people would come in because that means that you're growing and people are seeing your membership and that you're making more money and all of the things, but you also are a little bit nervous because you know that your systems could be better, or there's something that just doesn't feel right, or you know that you're not set up for that kind of growth. If you have that other thought of I wouldn't necessarily be 100% ready, then you are going to be subconsciously blocking your membership growth. You will hold back every single time you try and sell, even if you don't think you are, because your brain is kind of thinking this. It's like, okay, well, my onboarding isn't ready, or my systems wouldn't hold that many people, or I need to fix things first. Your brain will literally protect you from that growth because you're not 100% fully embodied, telling your body, I am ready for this, telling your brain, I am ready for this, and in turn, telling your audience, I am ready for you to come into this membership. You will hesitate in your sales, or you won't pitch as boldly, or you will kind of like downplay your membership. You won't be so confident in if you come into this membership, it will 110% fucking change your life. You will downplay it. You will shrink a little bit in your messaging. Even if you don't think you are, you will. And so coming back to this whole episode of, okay, Paige, let's like tie this thing in a bow here. What about what is my next priority? It's this simple. Whatever made you nervous in your answer is the next priority. So even if you are following this business coach and they are telling you that you're not growing because you don't have a TikTok strategy, or you're not growing because you don't have your funnel in place, or you're not growing because of literally fill in the blanks, it's not as simple as that. It's all personal. Business is personal. There's not a one size, one thing. This is what you have to do right now to grow. It's personal. And that's why I love this question, because it lets you really see what needs to happen. Sure, you might not have a great TikTok strategy, and that could for sure be something that if you did get a great TikTok strategy, you would grow more. But guess what? If your systems still weren't in place, you could be growing your audience, but would you be selling more? I don't know, because you might subconsciously still be blocking sales from coming into your membership because you're not fully confident in it yet. So when it comes to memberships, I always say your systems, your foundations, those things that are truly needed to actually get your members from point A to point Z, Those need to be in place first. All of the other stuff is going to come after. The funnels, the content strategies, all of those things come into place after. They're all layers on top of this overall strategy, but that core piece, that core thing that you need to focus on is the membership itself and making sure that you feel 1000% confident in it. So, for example, if your first instinct, when I asked that question earlier, if your first instinct was, I'd be excited, but I'd panic about onboarding, your next step that you need to do right now is tighten up your onboarding and your success path. If you are somebody that says, I have no idea what to post for 200 people, I wouldn't know what to post in the community, then your next step is going to be around community cadence. It's going to be around content rhythm. It's going to be around engagement strategy. If you're like, I'd be excited, but I don't know how I'd get all of those people results, then your next step needs to be the curriculum and the delivery plan. I think a pretty common problem is that when we think of doing things like our business or memberships or creating these offers, a lot of the times we're too short sighted. And you might be really excited if one new member joins because you're like, oh, it's working, it's happening, it's exciting. But if the idea of 200 members feels terrifying, then that's a problem. And this is how we operate inside $1 Million Memberships Club, which is my membership helping obviously membership founders build and scale multiple 6 and 7 figure memberships. Everything built in there is really looking at the membership at scale. So everything that I'm doing, whenever I'm creating goals or setting something up in the business, I'm not just asking myself, will this hold 5 members, 10 members, 20 members, whatever. It's if 500 members were in here, would this still work? Would this still be as exceptional? And that's what you have to think of. So if 200 members coming in feels terrifying, you don't have a sales problem or a content problem or a TikTok problem or whatever it is. You have a foundations problem, and that needs to be fixed before you start adding all of these growth strategies or before you start focusing on your email list or all of these things. That needs to be number one priority. And this is exactly what we do inside $1 Million Memberships Club. If you are a member inside $1 Million Memberships Club or you're thinking of joining $1 Million Memberships Club, this is exactly what we're building inside of your membership. We're making sure that you actually feel confident in all of these things, that you feel confident in your onboarding process, that you feel confident in your posting schedule and your community cadence, that you feel confident in all of your automations and your launch strategy and your systems and your structure and your entire membership foundation as a whole. I mean, honestly, when you are building a membership on really shaky ground or an unconfident foundation, meaning you are just kind of like guessing what's going to work or guessing what to do next, that can, for lack of a better term, cock block your sales. It truly can because you're just not 100% confident and you haven't necessarily seen it play out. But everything inside $1 Million Memberships Club is built for this. For if you had 500 members, 200 members, whatever, drop into your membership tomorrow, the way that we build inside of $1 Million Memberships Club is designed for it to support growth. We want to make sure that one new member feels the same as 200 new members. I mean, at least in terms of confidence and readiness and the calmness inside of your body. I mean, 200 members would be sick on one day, but you know what I mean. In terms of confidence, readiness, for you to not even flinch twice and be like, oh, I just got 200 members and amazing. I know they're all going to get amazing results. I'm going to continue my walk. I'm not going to freak out. I know everyone's being supported right now. That's what you want to feel. When you have the foundations inside of your membership all in place and you feel confident in that, that's when you can start stacking on growth strategies. If you're listening to this in real time, which is December 2nd, we are in our winter enrollment. And if you just want to feel so confident in every single piece of your membership, that everything is set up right, that your enrollment is set up right, that you have these onboarding processes in place, that you have the proper automations, that your structure is truly set up to be able to hold 100 members or 1,000 members, then I invite you to join the club today. So if you're listening to this during our winter enrollment, this is going to be the last time to join before 2026. We actually close the doors on December 16th. So between now and then, the rates are gradually increasing until we're back at the regular price, and then the doors close after December 16th. Also, if you are joining in December, we have such a sick month coming up in December. If you join us this month, we have our strategy call happening December 8th, and that is all on automations and behind the scenes sales for memberships. This is great. This is where we talk about truly selling in your sleep as a membership founder, having the systems in place and what exactly you need to have in place so that your membership is always just selling on autopilot behind the scenes and you're not constantly slaving away on social media 24/7. So that is happening December 8th. Then on the very last day of the month, on New Year's Eve, we are having our vision board party, but it's membership style. So we're really talking about the operational side of memberships, your plan for 2026, what we're going to be plugging in for your sales strategy, KPIs, goals that you have for your membership. And then we're just making it fun vision board party style. So it's just going to be very chill. I'll probably be showing up in my sweatsuit. You can bring your favorite bevy, so a coffee, a matcha, a tea, a mimosa if you want, whatever you want. It's going to be so chilled, but just so powerful and impactful. I think it's the best way to end this year and really start 2026 is going into it intentional and going into it with a plan in place. And that's what we're going to be doing on this vision board party. And we have some absolutely epic resources coming up in the next quarter. One of them being my absolute favorite thing. I've been working actually kind of behind the scenes for the last couple months on this, and it's absolutely going to change the game for you if you have a membership. And it's called our Membership Founders Manual. And basically, what this is it's a breakdown of weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly tasks that you want to have scheduled in your backend as a membership founder. So, all of those little things that you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I didn't send a newsletter to my members. Or you're just like, oh, I went into Black Friday and I didn't have a plan. Damn it, next year I'll have to do something. Or maybe you're just driving to the gym and you're just like, oh my God, I haven't done any retention surveys, or I don't even have a plan for retention. And there's just all of these little things that you need to do inside of your membership. Well, I am taking everything that you need to do on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis to not only keep your membership running really smoothly, make sure that your members have a great experience, but also make sure that you are growing your membership. I'm putting all of those little tasks and to-dos and schedule items, and I'm putting it in one guide for you so that you have everything in one place. You can take this, give it to your team member and say, hey, throw all of these into our schedule and let's make this happen. Or if you're a one woman, one man show right now, you can take some time over Christmas break and you can put this into your back end so that you go into 2026 true founder mode, true $1 million mode. So I am so excited for that one. That one is coming up in the next quarter. We also have some hiring templates and packages coming up for when you're ready to hire community managers, VAs, learning experience designers, all of the things. We have a lot coming up, and just honestly, we are ending this year with a freaking bang and going into 2026 true $1 million mode. And so I would love for you to join us, because if you don't join before December 16th, you're not going to be able to join until our next enrollment, whenever that is going to be. And obviously, on top of all those amazing things, you have our community of myself and other membership founders in a community growing alongside you, really being able to support each other in there, ask questions, see what's working for other people, and just have a space for you to be able to check in every single morning, every single week. That is your hub for growing your membership. So if you want to join us inside of $1 Million Memberships Club, head to the link in the show notes. All the details are there. Whatever pricing we are at the time you are listening to this will be there. And if you happen to be listening to this after our enrollment period, then make sure you get on the wait list for our next enrollment. So again, go to the first link in the show notes. If we are still open for enrollment, make sure you snag your spot before we close. And if you are coming in after we close, get on the wait list. I cannot wait to see you in the club if you end up joining us. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.